Welcome back, everybody. Good to have you with us just in time, because what in the blazes is this balloon? Why, it's none other than Billy Blazes, the fireman, sponsored by Canton Zone 1480 WHBC. Now, WHBC celebrates a milestone birthday next March, Dan. WHBC has been keeping the Stark County Hall of Fame community in touch with local news, weather, and sports now for 80 years. Fire trucks in a parade traditionally signal the conclusion, but this year we've also got this fabulous floating fireman in the middle of the parade, just in case things get a little bit too hot out here. And when you want to hear the hottest tunes, be sure to dial 1480 WHBC for great oldies.
Well, the grand prize winner for the best overall entry is the 50s champion float brought to us by Loudon Motors. This is going to take us back into the 50s. We've got a doo-wop sounds coming out of this. We've got the band, that's the Tailor-Made Classics, and they're going to have people dancing up and down here all day. There are over 1,000 live white carnations that are on this float, and it is some spectacular deal. I believe that's a 57 Chevy, a replica float, and boy, that is wonderful innovation there. That's really taking something and making it spectacular. Look at that. Congratulations to Loudon Motors. Well, our next enshrinee, Barry Sanders, one of the most spectacular acrobatic runners in the history of the National Football League. 10 years he played with the Detroit Lions, and in one spectacular run after another, he had a chance to become the NFL's leading rusher, but retired when he wanted to quit on his own terms. And there is Barry Sanders. Welcome to Canton, Ohio. And his father, William Sanders, is going to be his presenter. Barry Sanders will get a huge ovation as he goes up this route. And his change of direction, only the great Gale Sayers, I think, was in the same league with Barry Sanders in terms of a man who was going to his right and then made a decision that he wanted to go to his left and hit it quicker than anybody I'd ever seen.
Take a look, if you will, at this beautifully military-themed float called Champions of Freedom. It's sponsored by the Repository. The Repository is Stark County's leading news source. Their award-winning news, entertainment, sports, and living section writers work every day to bring the community what's most important to its readers. Those watching this parade from places far from Canton can get complete coverage of the festivities, by the way, at www.cantonrep.com. The float features a rotating globe, look at it there, as a symbol of our country's dedication to the freedom around the world, which is depicted by these headlines for the Repository's front page coverage in all the major news. This, by the way, getting the Janice C. Meyer Award for the best use of festival theme.
Well, next up, we have the Pro Football Hall of Fame Festival General Chairman, Jack LIBERATOR, with his wife, Pat, as he works his way to, imagine this now, he's been a volunteer in this organization for 28 years. He is now, as General Chairman, responsible for 26 committee chairmen and a team of over 3,500 volunteers. They have an estimated 350 planning meetings throughout the year. We'd like to thank our friends at Country Stables of North Canton, Ohio. They provided the Surrey for Jack and Pat to ride in this morning. And his family rides behind in the rocket ship here. Look at that.
You know, if you've grown up in this area like Dan and I have, this is quite a meaningful thing for us.
Oh.
It's the Euclid Beach Rocket Car, and members of the LIBERATOR family, as you see right there, are holding on and having a nice ride in there.
Well, say hello to Elmo, brought to us today by the M.K. Morse Company. He's one little guy that really doesn't need a whole lot of introduction, especially to somebody under the age of 10. It's Elmo from Sesame Street, and he's got 26 antlers, so go get him, Elmo. there's a Hall of Famer coming back to town. Take a look at that. From the 20-year class representing that group, one of the great wide receivers of all time, Charlie Taylor, played with the Redskins. Mike McCormick, another Hall of Famer who played with the Cleveland Browns, an offensive lineman, and coach in the National Football League. So Charlie Taylor, Mike McCormick, we're going to have a lot of Hall of Famers making their way down the parade route today. And of course, who could forget the great Willie Brown, cornerback for the Oakland Raiders, Super Bowl hero, coach, and one of the really, really good guys in the Pro Football Hall of Fame. Welcome back to camp, guys. All right.
Well, be still your heart, Dan, because here comes the GlenOak High School Golden Eagle Marching Band from Plain Township here in Canton, Ohio. The 200-member group under the direction of Michael Arnold is quite an impressive sight, not to mention a powerful sound today. And by the way, I said be still your heart, Dan, because GlenOak is happy and proud, and they should be, to boast that Dan Deerdorf, my partner here, is a 1996 Pro Football Hall of Famer himself, and a Hoover Grand Parade co-host with me today, is a graduate of GlenOak.
See, I was hoping you were going to say I was a 1996 graduate.
Wouldn't that be nice? I know what you mean. I know what you mean.
Unfortunately, a 1967 graduate.
Really?
Yes.
Were you ever in the band?
No, I was not.
I guess you couldn't because you were playing football.
No, but I did play the saxophone.
Did you? Do you still?
No. No. I'm not sure I could get much of a sound out of it other than some horrible shriek, maybe. But yes, my old high school. Good to see you. Well, this is the Hometown Buffet Restaurant's HTB, and here he comes down the parade route. He's in a 1999 Pontiac Firebird convertible, and the Hometown Buffet Restaurant proud to bring HTB here to the parade. They're one of our sponsors, so thank you for the help.
This next float took this year's parade theme to heart, really, entitled Salute to Our Champions, and proudly co-sponsored by the Canton Negro Old Timers Athletic Association and American Family Insurance. This float recognizes the numerous world-class local athletes who make the name for themselves playing for the Canton-McKinley High School, Ohio State University, and or the National Football League, the Canton Negro Old Timers Athletic Association, a local social organization with a long-standing community reputation for caring. And we're proud to join the American Family Insurance in presenting this float.
Well, Stark County offers cultural attractions, including the National First Lady's Historic Site, the McKinley Museum and National Memorial, the Cultural Center, the Meslin and Camp Museums, Glamorgan Castle over in Alliance, the Maps Air Museum, the Canalway, and the historic Lincoln Highway. Stark County is America's playing field for so many reasons. And the Hoover Grand Parade continues on here from Canton, Ohio.